right. I have 90. What was your prediction?
I said 908.
And I said what, 907, right?
You did.
Okay. Well, it's 906. So what we're thinking here is, when will Kathy Waslick actually show up? And that's usually it's who won? Like, did you win last time?
I think there was one day last week I picked it right. Yeah. Well, there's 907, and she's not through the door.
Not here yet. Watch, I'll get a text. Oh, totally forgot.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it today.
Well, the queen makes her own rules.
Isn't that the truth?
Dances to the beat of her own drummer.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So I titled the live today. I titled it, here are some short stories. Are they true or are they not? Basically. Short stories that may be true. And then, are they true or are they not? So I got a couple things, but I'm going to wait for
the queen.
Yeah. Kathy, whatever her name is these days. It's at 908. That was your pick.
So
that
now
was
you've
your
lost.
Pick. I've lost.
Yep.
Now it's your pick.
I got my 60 seconds here. Mm-hmm.
Who's got her on Live 360? I bet she's still home. I hear footsteps.
Uh-oh.
Nah,
can't be.
So, 908. No, nothing.
Come on. Winner.
Thank God.
The suspense is...
Thank God there's not a radio show or any show that relies on when she's going to get here. You win.
Oh,
you won.
Hey, it's still 908.
Yeah,
I got
you won.
it.
Is it really 908?
I got it.
Yeah. That's what I said. I said, I don't know if you heard me when you were walking in. I said, thank God there's not a radio show that actually relies on her showing up.
Well, if that was the case, then I would be here.
That radio show.
Oh, really? So we're not important.
They would be bankrupt.
So let me just say, I got a late call last night from my niece.
But you were awake, so it didn't wake
you
up.
Oh, yeah, no, it didn't wake me up.
Oh, okay. But, so where are we going with that?
Well, I'm going to tell you. So she calls me, because they're still out of school, and camp is finished where they are.
Yeah.
And my brother's a single dad, so they like to come to Auntie's house during the day when Dad's working, and they're with him. So I got a late night phone call from my niece. Auntie, do you have a lot of meetings for work tomorrow? I'm like, well, yeah. Well, can you come just get us early then? So I was at his house at 8, picking them up this morning, dropping them off. And, well, can we stop at what's the other one? The Baker's Dozen. Can we stop at Baker's Dozen? Don't have time. What about Dunkin'? Don't have time. I'm like, I'll order it, and then we'll go pick it up later.
DoorDash.
Well, my daughter's home. So I'm like, I can send her butt down to go get it. I'll order it online, and she can just go pick it up.
So basically, Rich, what had happened here.
You have to turn your lights on.
Oh, yeah. I've been forgetting these lately.
Mm-hmm.
I think what really is happening here, Rich, is that she's blaming her tardiness on children.
Yeah, I did see that.
So no, it wasn't even, but I got home back from picking them up and bringing them to my house. I got there like at 8:40. So I'm like, all right, I got plenty of time. So what did I do? Sat down on my work computer, getting work done ahead of time. And then I'm like, crap, I gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I have some time to get this done. Rich calls it, he says, I always try to fit 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bucket. Bag. He's like, that's what I do.
Oh. Wow. With a vengeance.
Oh.
Hot and heavy.
All right, so
I'm going to be nosy and see where they're going.
Oh, you're not supposed to have that.
It's Discord. It's an app. I'm not on I Am Responding or
They're
whatever
on
they
Discord?
use. Well, Discord is another app you can.
No, I know what Discord
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, there, you can if you're invited to it, you get everything. So that's how I get it. I don't have I Am Responding or anything. I'm not an actual member of the fire department, so I don't get access to all that. But on Discord, you get all of it.
So today, I was going to actually give out prizes today. I was, but there's nobody that participates anymore, so no prizes.
Prizes for what?
For participation.
You were going to give out participation trophies.
Yes, I was going to give out, just to get people to participate and comment or call us assholes or whatever, or call me asshole. Or
I've been called a hell of a lot worse than
Wednesday,
that.
and they're used to Wednesdays
They're used to not
happening.
Yeah,
so,
we don't normally have Wednesdays.
That's why he offered up the prizes. He knew nobody would be there.
No, there are people here. That's the thing. I didn't know how it was going to go because people aren't used to us.
I'm not used to seeing it, but we should have popped up on their little on their notification.
I would think so.
I mean, I just opened up Facebook and it's the first thing that pops up. So what's going on?
Well, let's see. Cindy puts to you, same girl, downside to working from home. That'll only take me a couple of minutes. Let me get that out of the way.
That's exactly what happened.
1 hour later.
Yes. And I was even, I shouldn't even say this, but even like at the stoplights and stuff driving home, I was on my work phone.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. All right.
But like at stoplights and stuff, I was pulling up my work phone trying to get some done.
One eye on the light, one eye on the phone. Yeah.
And, well, that's what I tell my niece. I'm like, tell me when it turns green.
Nice. Put the kid in the middle of it.
Yeah, like tell me when it turns green. I put
when
my
the kid
phone
says
down
green and
go.
you go and you get sideswiped.
Yeah. Well, it says green, then I put my phone down. I'm like, all right. But
yeah, but she tricked you though. She pumped you.
No,
red.
she no, they're good.
If it was your side of the car that was going to get hit, she would do it, right?
She drove it off. She's
All right. Paul Lash, by the way, couldn't come here today because he's being babysitted. But he's there.
By cats or was he being babysat by?
My friend Mike.
Oh.
Said he couldn't come in.
Is he building another patio?
No.
Oh.
12 cats.
12, yeah, no. So today I figured we'd do short stories. Are they true or are they not?
Shorts. Who's coming up with the short stories?
Oh,
you don't want me doing that. I am
God.
so not creative. I cannot come up with short stories.
All right, here's a short story. And tell me, let's see if people will even, I think people will guess.
Short stories.
This morning I got up and I wanted to get coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Coffee from this place. So I got in my car, drove there, walked in, started talking to the waitress, Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
And she was doing her little board or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, putting the specials. And then she started asking me about cruises, and I said, okay, and started telling her what I knew. I ordered a coffee. How many? Just one. Okay. Because I didn't know Rich was coming today because I didn't see it in the...
In the like 30,000
chat.
chats. Yeah.
It was,
You guys are
right there.
brutal.
I know.
I still have them unread in mine. I didn't even open them.
Yeah, I turned off notifications for it.
Not till about 11 o'clock last night when you responded, though,
Well,
right?
I figured I'll check in, So then, so I figured, I'm going to get my coffee, and I'm going to go ahead and talk to her. And because she was talking, like I said, about cruises. She wanted to know because she knows that we've gone. So I left after we got done talking. I got into my car, and I put my coffee down, and I noticed that my fly was completely open.
Awesome.
Is that true, or is that false?
True.
True, okay. Rich.
Somehow I can see it happening, so I guess I'll have to go with true.
Okay.
Although I feel like Sam would be like, dude, she's so like.
I think Sam would let him walk out like that. I don't think she would say anything.
That's possible too.
Set him up
I can
for-
see. I can
set
see.
him right up.
You're right. She
What's
gave
that?
That's because I was thinking like Sam would be like, "Dude, your fly's down." Like she's very
You would think,
straightforward
right?
kind of
Or
person.
she would chuckle and
But-
just let it go.
But he's got a point too. She'd be like, I'm not going to say anything
Like,
and
it's
let
my
him walk
turn
around.
now,
Yeah, I'm
right?
going to
Yeah.
let him walk around the slide. And
Yeah, let's see. Nobody can. So
but I'm gonna say that's true.
You're going to say that is true. Okay.
Yeah.
And nobody gives a crap. They're not saying.
Oh, there's no
But
prizes.
Yeah,
there's no-
right.
Yeah. Well, maybe if there was. But anyway, I don't know. So it's back to school time.
Yes.
Back to school time.
Yes.
You have one left,
I have
right?
one left. I have one left, but I have a funny story. But go ahead.
Is it true? Or is it false?
Well, you got to figure that out.
What's the funny story? Because back to school can always be funny.
Yep. So we do have one left for back to school. However, we have two that will be going back to school, but one of them is in a different, not your typical back to school.
Okay.
And so we have back to school shopping for my daughter and for one other person in the family that is going back to school and needs back to school attire.
Nick,
Nope.
you,
Not me.
Rich. Is he going for his PhD?
He's an adjunct professor at Mitchell College.
What the hell?
He got a job as an adjunct professor at Mitchell College and will have his own class. And he starts school the 26th, I believe, is his first day. So I told him, so we had to go back to school because he's like, oh, they said I have to wear business casual, whatever the hell that means. I mean, Rich, I mean, he's so
No
yeah.
sleeves.
Right, yeah, tats everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, I can help you with the business casual part. So I'm like, you're going to need to wear like slacks and button downs and nothing crazy, no ties and jackets, but So he hasn't even been with me yet. I've been doing all of his back to school shopping. And I told him, I said, on the first day of school, I'm going to make you stand out front with a sign, back, how they do with the little kids, back to school. And I'm going to make them stand outside. I'm going to do a
The brown
first
bag
day.
and his lunch.
Yeah, with his backpack. And I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of him for his first
give the
day of
goofy
school.
wave. Like Forrest Gump.
Well, what was funny when and then Kay was like, because when Kay and Nick were together, they were always together for back to school, and Ryan was usually with his mom on first day. So Nick and Kay would always have like their together picture and everything, and so Kay's like, I get to do my picture with Rich this time, so we both have our first day of back to school.
What's that? Once a week class? Or?
Twice a week,
Twice a week.
Mondays and Thursdays. He'll
are
be
nice.
teaching.
So
Days.
Ryan Alden, he's an adjunct.
Yeah.
Three Rivers, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yep. So Rich, he just went in, I would say like 2 weeks ago for the interview and everything. And they were like, yep. And they use an online, a lot of it's an in-person class, but they still have their online classroom. So he's been going nuts trying to set it up because he's got like 2 weeks to try to like learn their tools, their systems, going through their trainings and everything. So he's been going nuts trying to do that.
Remarkable.
Yeah. So
What
and
they teaching?
what do you think he's teaching? Emergency management, first aid.
Fire safety or something. Right?
He's doing first aid. They'll have the first aid CPR card at the end of the
Do what you
semester. Emergency management, all of that stuff. So, and it's incoming freshmen. So he had me looking through some of like the curriculum he was doing, and he's like, I'm going to have them write a minimum of a 5-page paper here. And I'm like, just how about a 2-page paper?
Drive them out.
I'm like, these kids are just coming out of high school. A lot of these are COVID kids. Like, just, you got it. Like, I was like, ease them into it. Just, So, but he's excited, ready to go.
That
and,
is cool. That's very cool.
And it's
Get into emergency management, though. That's not a soft subject. Get in, jump in, and
emergency management. There's so much involved in it, and you have no
it's not for
idea.
soft people,
No,
Right.
You got to be
no,
tough.
no. And with this one, he's starting out. Like I said, it's going to be first aid, CPR, kind of basic stuff. You know how dispatch works, how just the basic, the fundamental stuff.
Very good, Rich.
So
Going back to school.
he's going back to school.
Good.
He is considering a PhD program, though. He has been looking into those. Yeah, he's been looking into them and kind of seeing. He's reached out to a few different places, and I told him he's freaking nuts, but whatever. And he'll do it. He'll do fine. He's a very good academically. He's a very good student. I mean, he'll bust his butt to do it. Me,
not so much.
I hate school. I'm one of those like straight A students that don't really have to put in a lot of effort, but when I do have to put in effort, I'm like, ugh, this is not my thing. Like I don't.
That was my daughter. Same thing. It just came to her.
It did, and when I have to actually like work, if I have to work for it,
I was good. I just never applied myself. I just, I did enough to get by, and I could have breezed on through had I just been that next step up. But listen, I kept my parents out of the middle of my back, right? So I got through school, and that was that.
Yeah.
So, as far as stories this morning are concerned, there's one vote for, other than you guys. Victoria says my story was true.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what about Kathy's story? What about Kathy's story with Rich becoming an adjunct professor?
Oh, yeah.
Is that true, or is it false? I mean, what do you guys think? Were you guys even paying attention?
I can't wait to see him dressed up in his business casual. But I was taking pictures of shoes, and I'm like, "Do you like these?" He's like, "Oh God, that's what I would need to wear." Oh my God! And I was like, "Listen, go buy these because I want you to be able to try them on." So he went to Famous Footwear, tried on a few, and he's like, "I bought the ones that you sent me pictures of." Of course, I get home and I look at what he bought. I'm like, "Those are not the pictures."
And they may or may not have anything to do with your story because it could be true, it could be false. as she swallows her pride.
Okay.
Victoria says that is a true story by you. Yeah. And Rick up in Toronto says adjunct is a specific term. Let's go with true.
Yeah.
So everybody's let's see. So my story got one true. You got a couple of trues. Yeah. And let's see, nobody at Grizzled News and Notes or saying anything.
I threw in a lot of details. I mean, I think mine was obvious.
I don't know. Maybe you're just a good writer. So your story is...
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
It's true. Like, he didn't have enough on his plate. Let's just add professor onto it. I'm like, when are you going to do this? It's Mondays and Thursdays from like 2 to 3:50 or something.
I don't know where you guys find time for anything.
So last night I was planning on going. We had a couple meetings. I was planning on going to the meetings last night that we had here in town, and I ended up working till about 7:15, 7:30. So I missed all the meetings. And then I let the dog out, looked outside, realized that my yard was slowly turning into a hay field. And I'm like, I need to mow the lawn. So I was out there in the dark mowing the lawn. I'm like, it's got to be done. Time? It was about 7:30. It wasn't late, but it was getting dark. Like the days are getting shorter already.
So your son was stop by and, Nick. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about DVDs and this flea market shit, right? So all of a sudden, I'm like, he goes, your lawnmower's in the middle over there. Why is it not doing anything? I said, because the battery's dead again. Oh, and he goes, why don't you just borrow one of mine? We got like 2 of them.
We do have 2. Yeah.
And I'm like, no, wheel it over here. I'll just charge the damn batteries. I have 2 sets of batteries for this Makita electric lawnmower.
Trying to be green, yep.
And
how's that working out for you?
Sucks. My lawn is it's a postage.
Yeah.
Right? It's small. Mm-hmm. And same thing with the backyard. A lot of activity today.
2.
Yeah, that's the second one. But It's awful.
Mhm.
I mean, all right. So you in the front
Yeah.
yard, right?
Yep.
You look like let's say you're looking at the house, right?
Mhm.
So on the right hand side, there's that one
Yeah, like little area. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I can't even get through that with a full charge battery.
Seriously?
I don't have the self glide on.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Commercial on TV
That's
for I don't
awful.
know one brand. I don't even remember what brand it was. They say you can mow with theirs. You can mow the length of all football fields. So 300
That's
times
full of shit.
300
Jeez.
feet times 12.
That's 6,000 feet.
3,600.
You'd be better
Or they
off.
said 20. Sorry.
You'd be better off getting like those old fashioned, like
Those
just
to
the
push and they
two
roll,
wheels that roll. You'd
Yeah.
be
I
better
know,
off
I
with
know.
that.
I don't see one of those mowers going that far. We had when I was still working. We had.
Yeah, it's awful. I thought it was going to. Oh, and the box, Rich. When you get it, it's like, oh, this will last.
Oh God, yeah.
It'll last you 4 hours.
Yep.
I'm like, in
No.
what life?
No way. We had. I forget what brand they were. If they were Toros or something, but a dealer came in and brought in 2 battery-powered ones, 0 turns.
Mhm.
They had humongous batteries. It was probably 8 in each unit.
Jesus.
One was a rear discharge, one was a side discharge. Here, try them for a week, summer work.
Mhm.
So where I worked, I mean, they had the mower around reservoirs and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff, right? And it was always college kids. And the college kids out there mowing were barely getting through an 8-hour day with them. And these things were $27,000 a piece. And if the batteries crapped out, it was like $6,000 or $7,000 to replace the batteries. I just don't see the value of that.
Yeah.
$6,000 or $7,000
Yeah, I know.
buys an awful lot of gas. I gotta tell you,
Yeah.
awful
Yep.
lot,
Well, I paid.
and less headaches.
Yeah, I paid like $500 for this thing. Yeah, about 2 sets of batteries and everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's horrible. I tell Melissa all the time, I can't stand this thing. I can't wait to get rid of it.
Knickknacks, outgoing.
Yeah.
It's
Well, what's funny was, well, shit, Nick. So I've barely even seen him because he's just off doing his own thing. Oh, I've got a side job. I've got this. I've got that. He's wheeling it, doing his thing. So I'm outside mowing last night, essentially in the dark, and I was in the backyard at this point. I come out with the lawnmower to put it back in the garage, and his truck's out front. Like he had gotten home while I was mowing.
Yeah.
That little
In the
stinker
house.
never even came out to be like, "Hey, Mom, you need any help?" "Hey, Mom." "No, nothing." He's upstairs taking a bath.
A bath.
Yeah, soaking because
In Queen's tub.
he needed time to relax.
Rick,
And then he asked
With
me,
bath bombs.
and then it's like 8:30. "Mom, what'd you make for dinner?"
Oh, wow.
Oh boy, you know what?
That's a
Rick says you could mow the football field, but who would announce it?
Yeah, we have a regular mower. I do have a battery powered weed whacker. What is it? Milwaukee's like one of those interchangeable.
I have
like,
one of those too.
That-
That actually lasts a
that-
hell of a lot longer than the lawnmower
It does. That weed whacker, I can weed whack everything in one charge, no problem, and probably go through it again and do a second time. I have no problem with the weed whacker. But I also have the two. I mean, as soon as I'm done, I take it off and it's on the charger.
Charger, yeah.
Like
So quick story time about mine. My story, by the way, it was true.
yeah.
It was absolutely
Yeah.
true.
Does not surprise me whatsoever. Yeah.
Actually,
So how'd you find out that did she tell you?
No.
She
No.
let you know
No.
about it.
and honestly, I don't. I mean, why would she even notice? But I mean, I got in my car and I put the coffee down.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Damn it!
Rich does that.
So, yeah, I didn't
we were
even-
somewhere recently, and I walked up to him, and I'm like, "Can you zip your fly?" And he's and he's just like,
Anytime you've been out for 2 hours
Yeah.
somewhere,
It's very
right?
casual.
and he's just
yeah.
like, "Yeah, okay, sure."
in front of a classroom
Yeah,
full of
yeah,
kids
oh,
at
yeah,
Bishop
oh.
College, right?
Yeah. Well, I told him, I'm like, "You're gonna have to put on some kid gloves teaching at Mitchell College, just teaching college level. I'm like, this is a little different than what you're you're gonna have to kind of watch your tone, watch your, I was like, until you get a feel for
I
all the
wonder
kids.
how is he going to be like a woke kind of class?
They had, so apparently there was training he had to take on how to deal with neurodivergent students. Yeah. And he's,
Holy cow! Look who's here.
hey.
He's
But
He's
the
back from saving the world.
but the funny thing is, so he had this training on how to deal with neurodivergent. So basically, like your ADHD, your autistic, your types of students that need extra, whatever special accommodations or things like that. And he's such a jerk. He was like, I was listening to the training. He goes, and it just reminded me a lot about you. He's like, I can handle you, so I think I'll be all right. I'm like,
So
thanks a lot.
Get back to your kid story about Nick jumping in the tub and
Tub.
all this
Oh,
stuff,
yeah,
right? So after Nick left and everything, our adult young man
Yeah.
came outside and he said, "Oh, the battery's dead? Hold on." He went in, grabbed batteries, put it in there, and he goes, "I got you." And he mowed the rest of the lawn.
Good. That's awesome.
Is that true or false?
False.
Listen, I don't know your kid, but based on what I've heard, I got to go with
Yeah,
false.
I'm gonna say false.
All right. Hey, Rick, thanks for stopping in. You say false. All right.
Just based on what I know, I'd have to say false.
Wayne, I wasn't going to be here today because I'm going to go golfing in
Yeah.
Malin.
I was heading out the tour, and we got a call on Palm.
I saw that. Yeah.
So
So you're not going golfing?
I am.
What a
I'm
dedicated,
right
what a
here.
dedicated guy.
You might as well come in and see
So
all
is
your
that-
smiling faces.
Is it true or false?
What are we playing?
Oh my God!
We're
He's
playing-
here. He doesn't even pay attention.
We're playing. We're talking stories, true or false.
Oh, he's got to consult Swami.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, it is absolutely false.
That's why, as you were just saying it, I was like, "Wow, that's great. That's awesome." And then when you said true or false, I
Absolutely.
was like,
Actually, let's see. True or false? He came out the door, and I said, "Could you help me with this?" I got plans, bro.
"True."
There you go.
I got plans, bro. I can't take 5 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah. But he garbage.
Hey,
Gotta
It's
give
the
him
little
that.
things,
Something.
right?
It's the little things.
you know what? That
It's
was
the
one
little
less thing
things.
you guys had to do. So
What about you, Rich? Do you happen to have
I'm
a?
just on it today. Make up stories. Oh my word.
yeah,
Come on, you know everybody and every.
Yeah, but there's no stories. It's just like
There's stories. Oh, you got all kinds of.
you know things, but you
I know. I'm not.
wow.
I'm not
It's,
creative. I can't. I don't story tell. I don't know how. I've never been
You
able to
did,
do that.
but you do. That's the point.
But they're real though. I can't.
Yeah, but you can deviate it just a little bit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're very surprised because what do we do here? We're telling stories, right? We do that every day when we get here. What do you do when you go out to dinner? You're telling stories, whether they're true or maybe they're embellished a little bit, or so that's what I mean when people say, I don't know how to tell stories, because you're not the only person that I've heard that from, right?
What kind of stories are we telling?
we all
anything.
do it. We all do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And who knows? Rich may tell something that happened 2 weeks ago, and but I wouldn't be there because I wouldn't be invited. And
2 months ago, no, I would have invited you.
2 months ago,
It's
that's
not me.
changed.
Give me the king's hat. We'll show you who wouldn't have invited you. All right.
That's the kid.
And you know what? I talked to him the other day. Him and some neighbors of his. They went up to the Nordic Lodge. If you're familiar with the Nordic
Oh,
Lodge.
yes.
Never been there, but yeah.
Oh, I haven't been there since they were probably $75 or $80 per person. It's
150.
135. Make a reservation now, which is good, so you don't have to stand in 2 hours for a table. Said it was still just as good as it always was, but
Yeah.
man, it just got so expensive.
My dad, we brought him there. This is years ago. I mean, I can't remember the last time I went.
Remember when it was $40?
30
It's like,
years
oh my
ago,
God,
maybe?
I'm gonna spend
25 years
It's a
ago.
lot
$40.
now.
My dad sat there and ate corn.
Oh my God.
You mentioned that. I remember you
Yeah.
saying that.
He had like almost 20 ears of corn.
Wow, that was worth it, huh?
And it's funny because I, for a snack, I'll take a bag of frozen corn,
Mhm.
throw it in, put some butter on it, salt, and just eat it.
I do it with corn on the cob.
I don't like corn.
No, I'll eat 3 or 4.
I love corn on the cob. For the summer, that's one of
Sure,
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
sure.
yeah. Hey, I got a story for you.
Aaron says, "Tell us about the time you met King Arthur." Okay.
King
So-
Arthur.
Right. Wayne is here to tell us his non-political story.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
Uh-oh.
It's not
Yeah,
He's like-
I
he's
want to
like,
give him.
"Oh."
I don't want to just sit here. And
You,
talk
Yeah.
you
politics.
just blew his bubble.
I know. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I got nothing.
I had a good story from last night.
I have.
Okay.
So my daughter,
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Has a boyfriend.
Yep.
And he's into like boating and all of that. He's
Yeah.
going to school for marine technology or marine mechanics or something. So yesterday she goes, "Hey, can I go out on the boat?" I said, "Yeah, okay, go ahead." So she was in Narragansett, no, Newport, and we're supposed to come into the Norwich Marina.
Okay.
She ended.
So she was out there.
She was out there.
Okay.
She ended up in Narragansett Bay. They made it as far as like Narragansett Bay, and she
Okay.
was burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, I didn't see her at the calls.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
So yeah, so I'm tracking her. Of course, I can track her, and I'm like in like 3 hours, I'm like, "You've moved about 2 inches. Where? What do you? What's going on?" "Oh, we've gone 15 miles." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm calling BS because I can see exactly where you've been. Like, you've been,
This is since yesterday.
this is yesterday."
So she was out all night.
No. She went yesterday morning, and I told her butt needed to be home by 11.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I saw her. She got home. Mom, it might be past curfew because she's only had her license for about 6 months. So there's a curfew that she has to be home with her license, and she's like, "It's going to be past my curfew. Should I just stay here?"
Well planned. Well planned.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
played,
And
planned.
I was like, "LOL."
that does sound planned though.
I was like, "LOL. No, you can come home, or I will come pick you up." She goes, "Roger that. Be home in a little while."
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
It sounded like I'm gonna drop this little nugget and see how much it flies with
yeah.
mom.
Like, she knew better.
I mean-
she didn't even balk at it. She was like, "Yeah."
Knowing what I know, that is a true story.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So how about your non-political? I'm trying to variate you away from 100% politics
Oh,
and just talk about
Just trying to keep
life
his-
and
keep his blood
love
pressure-
and
keep
the
his
American
love.
way.
I got nothing to complain about. My kids are great.
Keep his
You know,
blood
they pay
pressure
their own
down.
bills.
Mhm.
So,
Rule of thumb.
He has, you know what though? Tell him what your son does.
oh, my son, he works on the production side of making movies.
Yeah, I knew that though.
He
Down in
makes
Atlanta.
movies. I
I
know,
knew
but
that,
who
yeah.
would know that was true? Like, how
Yeah.
many people do you know
Yeah,
work
Mhm.
on movies, like
Well,
movie sets?
Justin.
and stuff.
Justin comes in, right?
Well, yeah, yep.
But no, I had no. Well, I knew you had told me that, and you know
Yeah.
what? Atlanta's becoming a hotbed
Yeah.
for movies.
It's a lot cheaper to make them down there
Yeah.
than New York and California.
Sure.
That's where a lot of production companies are going. That's where they're working out of.
There's more and more movies and TV shows that you see at the end of it.
Yeah.
You know, you see, Made in Georgia with the peach
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Walking Dead's one of them. And that
Yeah,
one-
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like working on like these like Main Street
Stuff that everybody's heard of.
So I
Yeah,
got
so
here. I
cool.
just thought of a story here. So I'm
All right.
standing in line. We're at Disney World, all right, and I'm standing in line, and my son's friend threw this hat for one of the Spider-Man movies that she worked on. So it had Spider-Man, yada yada yada, on the back production team or whatever like that, right? So I'm standing in line, and there are these girls going, "Hey, that guy worked with the Spider-Man movie." Excuse me, did you work on the new Spider-Man movie that's going to be coming out? Right? And I turned around and looked at him and said, "Yeah, I'm an assistant director." And my son said, just standing there, he couldn't keep a straight, face and stuff like that. And he's going, "Wow, yeah, that's great. That's so how cool is it? Yeah, I met this actor and I met that actor, and it was cool. They're all cool people. Blah 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 blah." And they're like, I can't believe you did that. And I said, hey, you know what the heck? It was a little fun. So yeah, but yeah, he's just finishing up on the third reboot of Superman. I don't know who's he mentioned the actor's name. I guess he looks a lot like Henry Cavill, the last guy who played him. But yeah,
How many Superman movies have there been? You say third reboot.
this is like our third
There's
reboot.
more like 10.
Yeah, Christopher Reeves was,
He was
one before the TV.
The first
Superman,
modern.
Superman.
Yeah.
Because you had George Reeves, it was the TV Superman.
Yes.
And then you had the one we just had, Henry Cavill, but there was the other guy in between them that made the one. And then now you got this one. I don't know if they're starting from scratch again from the planet blows up again or what.
I want to commend you
Why?
because you can talk about things that are not political. You can do it.
Yeah, I can. So
That's
See?
what I figured. I figured if I taught kids.
yeah. Every
Yeah.
Thursday I'm talking about non-political stuff too.
So you talk about cruise.
No, that's the Swami. We don't. It's two totally different personalities.
You talk about cruises.
Yes.
I don't know, back in 2009, 2010, somewhere around there, we're on a cruise. And it was a New York went to Miami, went to the private island, and one of the stops, and came back to New York. We're out in the middle of the ocean, and we're in the buffet in the morning having breakfast. My brother was with us, who knows nothing about sports, football, none of that stuff. And he says to me, "Hey, I saw Doug Flutie on the boat." I'm looking at him like, how would you know who Doug Flutie was? And he says, he just looked at me and says, you wouldn't know, you've never watched a minute of football in your life. So we're sitting there, and who comes walking by but Doug Flutie and his wife and another couple, who they were, I don't know. And they walked on through. Well, when they came back, hey, Doug, how's it going? Good, yourself? And they kept going. So we got to Florida. We stopped. We were on an excursion. We were in Ron John Surf Shop. And up on the second floor, Doug and his wife were up there. So I walked up. I say, no balls, no blue chips, right? Walked up with my wife. I says, grab the camera. We're going to get a picture of this. So I walked up. I said, you mind if I take a picture? Sometimes some people are kind of funny about that, right? No problem. Comes over, puts his arm to take a picture, the whole 9 yards, shook my hand. Have a nice day. We get back to New York the end of the week. It was about 2 weeks later. Doug Flutie, for people who don't know, him and his brother have a band, and they do charity events, and they donate the money to autism because he has an autistic child. So they were playing at Mohegan Sun. So I took the picture, and I wanted to go down there that night, but unfortunately I was working on call. I couldn't do it. Well, my sister and brother-in-law went because they were on the cruise, and I did not get the picture to them, but they walked into the Wolf Den.
Yeah.
And there's Doug's wife sitting at the table. My sister, if you don't care, she walks over. Hey, remember us? Oh, yeah, come on, let's sit down. So she sits with them at the table, and they're talking about the cruise and everything. And she says, yeah, my brother's got a picture, from the Ron Johns. And Doug's wife says, well, if you have it, I'll have Dougie sign it for you. Well, of course, she didn't have the picture. I've still got the picture in a frame at home, hanging on the wall, unsigned, but it is me and Doug Flutie.
Very nice.
Cool.
Is that true or is it false?
Is it true or false?
I'm going to go with false, and not because maybe your brother, who doesn't know anything about sports, just saw some dude with a Flutie jersey.
I'm going to say true.
I'm gonna say true. Wayne,
Short time I've known Rich, he knows a lot of people and he falls into a lot of people. So I'm going to say yes. It's true.
all right. Let's see if anybody else. Probably not. If anybody else has any. Screw it. What is it? Yes or no?
It's true.
It is true.
Yep.
See, I took the low road. And
I have one. I have one for him.
okay. Pull the microphone.
Is it too far away?
Yeah.
So
Wayne, just
no.
slowly pulls.
No. I
I
pushed
didn't
it
push
over
it,
there.
I didn't
I
touch
pushed it over there, and my voice
Alright.
usually carries pretty good from what I've heard on this. So Rich Canova went on a cruise. I believe it was a cruise.
This rich can.
Yeah. And take your hat off for a second.
Nothing, see? Nothing.
He had his hair braided with beads.
This is true. Isn't that true? Because I think you talked about it.
Proof's out there.
I have a picture of
Yeah, I heard that was. You told that story one time.
It took me 4 months to grow enough hair to get beads put in when Gary was still down in the mill.
Okay.
So I went down and was getting my hair cut, getting it cut. I said, listen, we got to let it grow. Don't cut too much off, you know? We went to,
That's
it
funny.
was in the Bahamas. We were in Nassau. And you get off the terminal right there, they're all waiting
right
for
there,
you.
yeah.
Yep. I had Marilyn Monroe. If you're familiar with all the women that do that stuff, they use actresses' names. They go by aliases, and mine was Marilyn Monroe.
Nice.
I have the picture somewhere. I'm looking.
I could
for
probably
it.
save you the
I
trouble.
I got it. I found it.
I gotta see this.
There are beads.
Sometimes you get on the show and get embarrassed.
That's
There you
freaking awesome.
And I tell you, when I got when
Can
we
you
took
see
them
it
out,
on the?
so you take the
hold
beads
on.
out, and it was like worms hanging
No,
there.
you're.
No, how about this one?
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
Hold on. It was a long time ago. My God, that had to have been back around.
No, there's a glare. Tip it down. No. Yeah, there you go. There it is.
2008, 2009, I bet.
Rich braids and beads.
But you know the funny part, I'm standing in the elevator one day with them. I'm sitting there, clack, 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 shaking my head, and there was a couple other people. Yeah, it's pretty cool, you know. And I thought, yeah, it's $3 a string for anything. It was like $90 to get that done just for a joke.
How was the sleep on that?
No big deal. Yeah, it wasn't. I had them right till we came home. I didn't take them out.
I have another one.
Okay. See, now this is from somebody that doesn't tell stories. She's gone pretty good on this.
Well, now that I'm getting on a roll,
See, there you go.
I was on Jerry Springer.
I would believe that's true, only because they did film that in Waterford. I
Mean you're
believe,
not
for
a
a while.
woman?
Maybe you were at the show, or participated.
Does Rich knows this?
They didn't.
They weren't at Waterford.
No, it was Stanford.
Okay,
wasn't it?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna go.
was
You were.
on Jerry Springer.
I'm gonna go. You were in the crowd.
I would say at the show.
Yeah. Uh oh.
Can you see it on the camera?
Oh, hold on. Is that Kay next to you?
No, that's my sister.
Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can.
You have the guy with the legs here.
There you are.
Yeah, we were front and center.
And in front of you is a guy in braids and it's Cadova.
Yeah,
Got really suntanned down in the Bahamas.
we were. So my bet.
Yeah,
I got burned bad on me.
But yeah, my bet. This was several years ago. But my best friend was like, "Let's go to Jerry Springer."
Huh.
I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So a group of us went down. My sister went down with us, and we were. It's weird how it works. You have rules you have to follow just to be in the crowd.
Mhm.
Like you have to wear certain colors. You have to wear jewel tones, like primary colors, and like because that's what shows up best on TV currently. And then so you get into the audience area. It's small.
Oh, that.
It makes it look really big on TV. It's small, but you get in there, you sit. You don't have assigned seats or anything. You just like sit wherever, and then the producer will get in front and look at everybody and go, say, "You move over there." And they move people to where they want you to be.
Really?
They put us. We were literally like 5 rows up right in the middle. So every time the camera panned,
They saw
we
you.
were
Yeah.
we were on. It was cool.
People come in here, that have
Mhm.
never been in here, and they went,
Oh.
It's just, to us, it's just, whatever. People go, lights.
Yeah.
Go to the studio. That's kind of what it is. But so, which is cool. All right, true or false? Ready? I got one.
God.
Since you were on Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
True or false? I was on People's Court.
Where did they film that? Is that film local?
Well,
Is there one like
let
New
me
York?
throw the true side of this out there. That my son was on People's Court one time, This is true. God's honest truth. And it was in, I believe, California.
That's what I thought. Were you like on Judge Wapner,
They,
like
no,
back
they, listen,
in the
they
day,
paid for him to fly out and everything.
or like was this a Judge Judy? Or I'm gonna say true.
Okay.
Jets wasn't.
Wow.
I'm going to say
I'm
true.
I'm gonna say true.
Okay.
I could see it happening. I could say true.
It is true.
Yep.
But it was New York City.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know they did it in New York. Because I knew the
Yeah.
California one.
Yep.
So here's the this is the really weird part because you just asked, right? I am not even kidding you. You said what ex took you? Just as I finished the story, Melinda, Mick's mother, texted me about something else. And that's actually I took her.
Oh my god!
Is
So-
that weird? So
Actually,
Were you on TV?
my
Oh,
son, when
yeah.
he went, you can probably Google it and look it up. When he was there in the courtroom, an earthquake rolled through, and everybody was
in
like,
New York?
"No,
No,
California."
he went to
Oh.
And everybody in the studio was shitting their pants looking around. I mean, the lights were swinging, things were happening. I mean, they actually had an earthquake while he was there, and it was filmed.
I was I had Judge Shindley. It was Judge Judy's husband.
Right?
Oh, I don't
So
remember.
they you're right.
He heard Judge Judy.
They pick you up
Yep.
because I was in Connecticut.
Yep.
They picked me up in a town car and got out there.
Yep.
And when we pulled up to the place, it's just in a big tall building
Yeah.
in the middle of
You would
the
never
middle of the
know.
city.
Right.
You have no idea.
It's not Paramount Studios.
Mhm.
No. So I went, this is it? He goes, yep. And I got out of the car and I literally just go straight in and there's an elevator. There's no bottom. I mean, there's no bottom floor. It just goes up. And you go up to the 7th floor. And then you get out, there's a ton of people in there.
Mhm.
And when you get off the elevator, plaintiffs to the right, defendants to the left. Serious.
Oh,
And you look at the floor and it's just crappy. There are tiles that are missing. I think they've rented out a
Mm.
yes.
floor.
Yeah.
And it looks like crap, which they did.
Hmm.
So you go into a room until they call you. Now there's a bunch. They're filming a bunch of shows that day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they finally called me. And then the assistant director had headset on. They said, all right, when you hear the music, you need to go over to the big double doors and open them with force. And I went about the show.
Like all dramatic.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, okay. I said, you really want me to hit it? And he said, oh, yeah, give it all you got. Okay. So I did. What a da-dun-dun, da-dun-dun-dun. Knocked the set over.
Not that hard.
I can see you doing that.
Cut!
Yeah.
They had people inside holding it up. Not that hard. I said, you told me, give it everything you got. Because they are really big,
That's funny.
It's
heavy wooden
just
doors.
a fake wall. It's not.
Exactly. So, so you're walking from Crackville,
Yeah.
and then when you finally get in there, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
there's lights everywhere. It looks very,
Production.
yeah. And there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 rows where people can sit.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It's amazing what
which are
lighting-
handpicked, by the way.
Yeah.
The lighting and the cameras,
Sure.
and special effects,
Sure.
everything can do. My son sends me pictures, some of the sets. But when you see the finished product,
Mm.
it's crazy.
And Melinda was there. They flew her in from
Mhm.
Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
Not just her, but a couple other people too.
Right.
So
When my son went, it was right.
and paid
Before,
for their hotel.
it was right before he went in the army, and when his basic training was over, and they sent out invitations for family to come down for the graduation. He had to make a phone call, and I made a phone call and talked to, I don't know what he was, up between maybe sergeant major or something, whatever. And I was talking to him on the phone, and I told him who I was. Oh, he says, your son was the one that was on Judge Judy. I says, oh my God. He said, yeah, we all know about that story. So it had gone around Fort Jackson quite well too. So
That's funny.
But it is out there. You can still Google that, I believe. That episode of Judge Judy with the earthquake in California.
I can't even find mine.
He was at the podium when it happened.
So,
I mean,
I had a video.
they were actually doing his case when that happened. Yeah,
I got paid
yeah, he made a little bit of money. I believe.
$250,
something like that.
The pictures I have where my sister was like all about it because she's like, well, I want to see it on TV. I want to see it. And I wasn't really following it. For me, it was
Yeah.
just the experience of going there. I wasn't like an
When
avid.
you go
Like,
left, it's like, man.
yeah, I wasn't like an avid like Jerry Springer watcher or anything. But she ended up doing the old fashioned like taking pictures of the TV as like the show was on. So that's where the pictures I got were from.
You know, like People's Court. You know where they actually scan the court systems all over the country for different small court cases,
Oh, okay. I was wondering how they came up with those
small
Yeah, okay,
claims,
yeah.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Make a TV show out of it. They make
Yeah.
money. They pay a little bit of money. Yeah.
But they do, and then you have to actually sign a release saying that you
accept
accept this
the
agreement
outcome,
or,
right.
or this outcome to be,
Official.
and you drop the case in court.
I have another one.
You got her on a roll now.
Well, I'm going through like
She's digging them up.
no, I'm going through pictures, and it's like jogging my memory. I convinced Rich to go to P Town for a day trip. Did you picture Rich in P Town?
No, not. I mean, for a little bit, and then he'll like be fed up for a while. I'm gonna go true, but
I'm going to go with true.
I already know the answer.
all right.
So do I.
We did
So
we did a day trip to P Town.
nice.
I love P Town. It's been a long time since I've been there.
I've never been there.
Oh my god, it's great. It's eccentric, obviously. I mean, it's known for the LGBTQ community, but it's the last time I went, I had a blast. So, and I've been wanting to go back, and we found recently that there's a ferry out of Boston, and the ferry out of Boston is right next to my office. So we just drove up, parked at my office,
Nice.
used the hotel that I normally use when I'm at work right across the street or a block away essentially, and hit and grabbed the ferry. So, I mean, it worked out great. We had a blast. I mean, but what was funny was, of course, he was like stuck to me like glue. Like the whole time he's
Little
just
insecurity.
like, and what was funny was though, you see like other like hetero couples like,
Yeah,
walking around, and all the guys are the same way. They were just like on their windows like, But I thought it was funny. But I mean, we had
Did it
a
get
good
winked at?
time. I don't know. I was too busy like just checking things out.
Yeah.
I love going just kind of taking in a different culture, just seeing something different. You know, it was a change of scenery. You know, we've been so busy. I'm like, we need to just get out and see different things.
These two people that I go to lunch with every week, they're old family friends. It's a mother and daughter. And they have a timeshare up there, and they were just up there last week.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed me pictures of the parades and all the stuff that happens up there. I got to tell you, listen, it looked pretty cool.
It's fun.
It really did.
It is so much fun. And we went the day we went. I guess it was the start. They were having a Renaissance week.
All dressed up,
Saturday,
man. They take it to the nines.
And that's what I was hoping to see, but it was just the start of
Yeah,
it. And we were there during the day, and I'm like, we really need to come and like do like an overnight and be there overnight. But I mean, what we saw even during the day was what I would expect. It was scaled down a little bit.
This
you
is
know,
like
but,
full scale, flamboyant, the whole 9 yards. And it was. I got to tell you what, they put a lot of time and effort into that. They
and
really
it's
do.
fun. And the last time I went was Halloween.
Oh my God, that must be interesting.
That's what I'm saying. I had a blast. It was so much fun. And of course I took a bunch of pictures and things like that. But it was just the art. If you're into art and you're just interested in wanting to see just very abstract
And
art
you
and
saw
different
whales.
interpretation. We did do that too, yeah. But the art was phenomenal there. Everywhere you went, it was just art. But we did do a whale watch. So we got there, walked around a little bit, went on a whale watch for like 3 hours. Saw, I don't know, I think they said they counted 14 different whales. That we saw. There was one in the harbor when we were coming in on the ferry.
Wow.
There was one right in the harbor, and they said that is very rare. You don't normally see that. But we went out. And we saw a few come right up, like jump way up out.
Yeah, I saw a few of your pictures.
Yeah, it was really
I saw
cool.
a few too. Yeah.
It was really cool. I have more, obviously, that I wasn't going to share on social media. But I have several videos and pictures, and I had a blast. I could spend a weekend there just hanging out and people watching.
I would love to go. My mother used to go there all the time with Sharon,
Mhm.
and they would say, "We're going to go to Cape Cod," and we're going to Cape Province.
Yep.
Now, I was naive, very naive.
Mhm.
I'm 13, 14 years old, and I'm like, "Oh,"
No
Mhm.
clue.
and I didn't care because they were bringing me home a lobster,
Right.
you know. So,
Yeah.
and I was good with that.
All about the food.
And it's really, and
I'm very food motivated.
and
Yes.
there's tons of options for food, but and if we had spent more time there, I wanted to kind of venture off, like you have the main drag, no pun intended.
Right.
but you have the main road, that like
Yes.
all the shops and all the touristy things and everything's happening. And I would have liked to have ventured off a little bit, and because I know there's a bunch of lighthouses, there's a lot of hiking you can do and trails and all that, and I would like to do a lot of that.
Yep.
Beautiful sunsets out there. I mean, it's really it's a gorgeous
But
place.
you know what's funny too is, so I know a guy very well who lived on the road from me as a kid, and he's
Mhm.
he was a business owner in Norwich. He had two businesses, one in Norwich, one up in Colchester. They were gas station convenience stores, owned them for years, and he had a partner. They lived up in the Cherry Hill area.
Mhm.
They decided one day to cash it all in and go to Teton. And that's, I guess, the ultimate mecca for
Well, around
if you
here,
live-
yeah.
right, you know. So they did, but they weren't
Well, they're in
accepted.
San Francisco.
Right, but they weren't accepted up there for some reason. They were there for maybe 2 years and came back. Yep. They just did not, I don't know why, but for some reason them two were not accepted. I mean, I'm sure they're not the only ones,
Right. Yeah.
but they were not accepted in that community up there.
Interesting.
Because when they were kind of shunned, and they said, "Oh, we're going back." They sold
Yeah.
everything up
Oh,
there and
that's
came
too
back.
bad. That's too bad. I mean, I don't know about living there. We saw a lot of, the ferries were jam packed with people with their suitcases. So I know a lot of people were there, obviously to visit for a short time. I don't know what the population, year round folks are, or even just seasonal folks are, but those ferries were, they were full. They were full back and forth, and those are just the Boston ones. I'm sure there's
Never
other
been up
ferries
there.
as well, but
In the Nantucket, when I've never been.
oh, you gotta go. We
Let's
should
see
all
it.
plan
We
a
went there
day trip.
Did you?
years ago. It's very scenic.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's
Oh, yeah.
really pretty. All the boats, if you're into boats and yachts, oh my god, that are docked. Where you come into with the ferry. It's just very pretty. It's just a normal, like a natural, like what you would see like in Newport,
Yeah.
or just
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. But we had a good time. The whales were cool. I've always wanted to do a whale watch, so we did that. That was pretty cool. And
Yeah,
got
you
to
got
see a
lucky. You
lot
got
of
to see them too.
We got to see a lot.
I've never
of
been
them.
on. Wilson said she wants to go. on.
They're really cool. It wasn't bad. It was $70 per person, and we were out there for like 3 hours, maybe even a little bit longer. And they gave you the history of them, and they go out there all the time and they do research, like they mark them and whatever. So the person that was narrating our trip knew some of them based on when they go up and they show their tail, the underside. They said that's like a fingerprint,
Right.
equivalent to
Wow.
what our fingerprints are. They're all unique. So he's like, oh, that's so and so, and then that whale is so and so, and this whale, is the 4th generation. It's had babies, and they've had babies, and they knew all. It was really cool. It was really cool. I would highly recommend it. But we had a good time and gorgeous weather.
I would have gone downstairs and watched the goldfish.
Goldfish.
I'm going to go on a goldfish watch.
No, the
True or
whale.
false?
All right, good stories today, guys. Tomorrow we will be here with Lisa and Joyce from Crystal Visions. Wayne will be here for a little bit, and then the Swami will show up, and then you guys are going to be doing it on Friday.
Winging it on Friday.
Rich will not be here. I think we're heading to Maine Friday.
Gotcha. Anyway, thank you very much to the Burns Agency as always for everything they do for us.
Have to
Strain Family Motors.
Have to recruit Paul, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
He usually shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually he's here on Friday. Strain Family Motors, of course, and Crystal Pride, and Dean's Corner Diner, P7 Construction, Capital Property Group. Who am I forget? God. Rubino's Full Circle, P7, and all of these fine folks. And please support your local business. If you don't